Do you like monsters?
Do you like Dungeons and Dragons?
Do you like monsters and dungeons and dragons?
Then do we have a show for you.
Kill Every Monster is a bi-weekly DM deep dive into every monster in the manual. The first part is a discussion about creature mechanics and lore, and the second half is a one-shot AP where the guest takes on the role of the monster.
Each episode of Kill Every Monster is a contained story, so you never have to worry about being caught up or listening out of order. Pick any monster you like and jump right in.
For a Dryad episode, Emily Booza talked about how these tree ladies are really just grown-up fairies.
Like that concept of there are fairies that are specifically assigned to a flower, like stuck in my head as a kid, and I really remember really loving those. And I feel like the Dryad can be kind of, again, it's a grown-up fairy. It's the grown-up version of that concept of just, you're too big for just a flower. You need a whole tree.
I like this accidental idea of almost the hermit crab dryad mentality of like, well, I was born, I had a dandelion, and then all the wisps flew away and I had to move. So I lived in a rose bush for a while, and then there was an apple tree growing nearby, and that was really nice.
I love that.
I want a children's book of that concept. I want a children's book of that concept now, please. Universe.
To find out more about the show and where you can listen, head on over to killeverymonster.com.
And we'll see you next time
for Kill Every Monster. Hey people, this is Aram. This week we are joined by the cast of the Dungeon Rats for the final installment of our 3-part series, Wrath of the Wild. Our guests are playing a band of elves led by the arisen god of speed, Automil, on a quest to figure out why so many Yeti have descended into their woods from the spine of the sea. If you haven't heard the Dungeon Rats podcast yet, you need to know 3 things. It is brilliantly written and DM'd by Patrick O'Rourke. It is edited to perfection with original soundtracks by Carlos Luna, and many of the trials, monsters, and locations we encounter in the Endless Magical Dungeon are submitted by our listeners.
Meanwhile, at the Court of Crowns.
Skeletwins, come on in, please.
Hello.
Well, the reason I asked you guys here is because Guardian Foxworks wants your sword in the Endless Dungeon.
Ah, you mean this sword? We have to make sound effects. It's a very silent sword, so it's not really a cool reveal.
Well, as I understand it, it's a very powerful sword.
Yep, it is very powerful.
What does it do?
Well, if I hit
anyone,
it sucks their personality straight out of their body into the tip of the sword, and then I can put that personality in anyone if I stab someone else.
What happens to the first person?
The first person becomes a shallow husk of what they once were.
Mm-hmm.
It's great!
One time I stabbed Cher, and then I stabbed a squirrel.
Wait.
And guess what happened? Cher became a shallow husk of what she once was, and the squirrel became Cher.
You're talking about the legendary bard Cher?
The legendary bard Cher.
Yeah.
Is she now a husk of herself, or is she a squirrel?
I don't know. I don't remember if we switched her back. I really hope so, because, boy, she is a legend. She sings that song, In the End.
Yeah, in the end,
it doesn't even matter.
I love that song.
So good, so good, so good.
So good. It's my favorite. My favorite Cher song by far.
So be sure to listen and subscribe to the funniest D&D podcast you have ever heard. In this week's episode, we are joining an elite group of elves who have come together after an initial team of scouts sent north by the Ironwood Elders to the spine of the sea in order to investigate unusual Yeti activity have gone missing. We have maps, character sheets, and my full DM's notes for this episode loaded right now for our gold and silver Patreon supporters at patreon.com/godsfall. Now let's join our guest players as we dive back into the Ironwood. My name is Aram. Welcome back to Godsfall. Godsfall is a custom Dungeons & Dragons game that is played and recorded in Washington, D.C. and written and produced in Chicago.
My name is Carlos Luna. I play Reuven Yesjor, the level 5 Wild Elf Fighter.
My name is Alex Colliard. I play Raul Valen, a level 5 Wild Elf Rogue.
I'm Serena Marie, and I play Saria Lenoran, a level 5 Wild Elf Fighter.
I'm Justine Kruger. I play Valatha Greffrin, a level 5 Wild Elf Ranger.
Hi, I'm Patrick O'Rourke, and I play Automil Leodon, a level 5 Wild Elf Ranger.
And Thalia Byrell, a level 5 High Elf Monk, was played by Mark Hunu.
Previously on Godsmack. Previously on Aram's Fall. Oh man, and then I said, give me a knife, and then I started stabbing. Wait, what? Oh, we're rolling? I forgot my line. Previously on Godsfall.
The elves, led by Automil, made their way across the flow and up the sloping foot of the spine of the sea, where they were ambushed by a trio of juvenile yetis. Dispatching them with relative ease, the party took a moment to investigate the corpses and were left with more questions than answers.
I'm stripping the dead yetis.
One of the yetis has red, angry welts across its chest and arms, and the other yeti seems to have a very large bruise.
As though it was attacked by something, or as though there was...
Either a giant hit it with a club, or it fell off something and may have struck a ledge, but there's a huge bruise on its right side.
I don't care if we come across more yeti. I can take them.
Something else is hunting them.
Something was real hungry.
Good. But the more dead, the better. Let's go.
How are you not hearing this? This is something...
I heard it, and I don't care.
But
I want to keep going. I want to save our own.
Your vengeance will blind you.
This isn't just about vengeance.
Isn't it?
This is about... My brother was up there. My brother sent a signal. We need to go help him. We don't know what has stopped him. Whatever was in here could be out there right now searching that.
I said I would follow you, so let's go.
I sort of stay back with Reuven. You know, I just want to fight. You know what I mean? I don't want to argue. I don't want to play semantics. I just want to fight. And if that means that we go up the mountain today, then that's what we do. But we're wasting time.
Reuven keeps looking straight forward. He grinds his teeth, and he says under his breath, "Be careful what you wish for."
You know there are others in the woods in front of you.
I raise my hand up to indicate everyone to stop moving.
This is a Kadarian patrol. There are soldiers. That is definitely an anti-Theot.
There's not a lot of reasoning with these people, and we know this.
No, there's not a lot of reasoning. Yeah.
So How many do I see?
You see a priest, 2 soldiers, and you see 3 others that are not dressed. They're not dressed in the traditional priest robes, but they're also not carrying weapons or armor. He looks an awful lot like Xion. Like if Xion had an older brother.
Do you know Xion?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're lying. I know you're lying.
He just grimaces.
What is your relation to Xion?
Xion was my brother.
Was your brother?
I have no brother. No half-god bastard brother.
You have Xion all wrong. He's a hero.
He's no hero. He's going to kill us all. Just like the gods did. Just like you will. You will lead to the death of all of us.
We are only here to help and to protect those we love. How can that be dangerous?
The gods are petty and cruel and small. And as you grow in power, you will forget who you were. Your mortal coil will leave you. Your heart will grow cold, and you will lead to the death of us all. Hate is pouring off him.
So this very clearly bothers me. I pick up a handful of snow, throw it at his face, and start to walk away, and I say to the group, "Do with him what you will."
He just glares back at all of you.
Ooh, jeez. Okay.
Did we find out anything about, how many people they have?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Yeah,
not a single question.
Okay, well, we should probably ask, is there an army down there, or why they're taking the wood, or... Something like that.
So Saria goes up to the priest and says, "What is your purpose in this wood?"
And he gives his name. He gives the unit that he's with, and then he's a Kadarian soldier. That's all he says. Name, rank, and serial number.
I punch him as hard as I can in the face.
Excellent. You hit automatically. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So just go ahead and roll damage.
1.
So you just crack him one, just like a nice solid jab.
I'll follow that up with a question.
Okay. Good cop, bad cop. I like this.
Who's here with you?
Doesn't say a thing. Name, rank, and serial number.
Punch him once in the chest.
Oh. A 1.
You're not trying to kill him. You're just giving him jabs.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, and I step over him and I kneel down. So I'm kind of, straddling him, and I grab his shoulders and I say, "I'll let you go. I'll give you what you need to heal if you tell me who you're here with and what your purpose is in these woods." I rolled a natural 1.
Okay.
Which would be 3.
He kind of leans forward, and his face kind of shifts, and you're absolutely convinced that he's going to tell you. So you lean in to listen to him, and he tells you his name and his rank and his serial number, and he spits in your face.
I take the back of my bow and I slap him across my face
Excellent.
with the pointy end.
Roll to hit.
18.
Nice. So you crack him across the face. Oh, roll a die 4 and add your strength.
2.
Nice. So you kind of catch him, and it cuts his cheek a bit. Now he's bleeding. And he just kind of rolls his head back at you, and he's just still staring hate.
I just want you to know my personal instinct is to grab the part that cut and rip it straight down.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!
Wow. So that's not in character.
It's not in character.
No, that's just personal. Yeah.
Jesus. I would like to try to persuade real quick. I get close to him. I kneel down to him. Look, friend, this is all a big misunderstanding. You know that there's no way that you get out of here alive. Look at how everyone else has treated you. Maybe with your last breath, you could try to convince one of us of your perspective.
And I'll just try to appeal to that side of him. Fucking natural 1.
Oh no!
So he hears everything you say, and he starts to talk to you. And he talks for a while, and he talks about how they were preparing ships, and he's feeding you information in a pretty steady stream. But after a couple minutes, you realize he's just feeding you stuff you already know, and he keeps kind of glancing back towards the campsite. I would like perception rolls.
10.
12.
10.
These rolls are fucking
18.
All right, so you guys are all kind of focused on this. You notice that smoke has grown. The little trail of smoke is now darker and blacker, and this guy seems to have noticed it too, and is clearly stalling for time.
As the person who last talked to him, I realize this isn't going anywhere. I take out my dagger and I just right into his fucking throat.
That will do it. Okay. He dies right there. Yeah, gasping and just staring with hate into your eyes, but you kill him right there.
Yeah. I take an eyebrow.
So you take an eyebrow from Xion's older brother, Moderate.
He's right, I do pose a great risk to everyone. I was really petty earlier when I was dealing with Raul. What if powers like mine fall into the wrong hands? Or what if my hands are the wrong ones?
I think that's the right question to ask.
Well, Adimil, if you want to prove yourself useful, then be of use. Help us, then. If you're afraid of being careless, then don't be.
You guys, I just want to mention there's a very large smoke coming from behind us right now.
Mark or Thalia?
Thalia?
Are you flirting with us, Thalia?
That's my flirting voice.
Reuven puts his foot on the forehead of the monk that he stabbed with the javelin, and he pulls it out. And as he's doing this, he says, "Now is not the time for questions of what if. Now is a time for action." And
I look at Raul and I say, "I'm sorry for the way I treated you earlier. You are a powerful warrior, and I have your back."
I'm trying so hard not to let this affect me, but like that's all I wanted to hear.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And I like to turn away, like just so that they don't see me like smile like a little bit. I like turn away to go back to the body of the person I killed. I take the arrow out of him, put it back in my quill, and then I want to go over to where the other arrow
It vanishes,
is.
by the way. When you put an arrow back, it just vanishes into the quill.
Right. Yeah. I want to go to the other arrow that missed and snap it in half.
You will be punished.
Yes. It's very superstitious.
Fair enough. I love it.
So I want to roll a perception on that camp. 18.
Now, you guys are wood elves. This is what you do.
Yeah.
You creep up, you get within position, and you can see an active campsite. Past the western edge of the high forest is a sheer cliff that plunges hundreds of feet to the choppy waters below. The trees grow thin here, and a wide clearing sits between you and that drop. There are several tents set up in a circle to the north, and a massive copper and bronze steam-powered airship anchored to the south. Near the cliff edge is a proud ironwood tree, rung with kindling and a series of 3 metal trowels nailed to the trunk about 5 feet off the ground. A pair of Kadarian soldiers walk around the tree, carrying torches and lighting the kindling below it. They are being carefully directed by a trio of rather unpleasant-looking dwarves that are clearly from Gall Haldir. Half a dozen other soldiers mill around the campsite and the massive bronze airship. The craft is a blimp with a long, narrow bay running underneath and a glass and bronze hexagonal cockpit protruding from the front. 4 slowly turning blades are set at the front and back of the craft, attached by a series of chains and gears. Gouts of superheated steam are regularly expelled from several pipes along the top and sides of the blimp as it gently sways back and forth with the breeze, groaning against its ropes. In the center of the camp is a tall, older man draped in dark blue robes of the Anti-Theot priesthood. He wields a seeker's staff, and the trio of thin silver bands on his sleeves mark him as an archbishop. He is speaking to another priest half his age, dressed in similar armor to the soldiers with a navy tunic tied over his steel breastplate. Just over his shoulder, you see 2 blackened craters where snow has been blasted away, and in the center of these craters are shattered ironwood stumps. Whatever the Kadarians are doing up here, they've already taken 2 ironwood trees.
They're harvesting our trees. We can't stand for this.
Valatha, roll knowledge nature.
26.
Oh, yeah. They are definitely gathered around Hagen's dream tree. You know this tree well. It's directly on the edge of a cliff. It's always been one of these majestic things that kind of grows out and the roots wrap around the edge of the cliff, and it just kind of stands in defiance to this
I'm sorry, who's
nothingness.
gathering there?
There are a couple dwarves around it. There are a couple soldiers as well. They're lighting fires at the base of it, and there's these weird metal circular troughs that have been attached to the tray and are being filled with some sort of liquid right above the fires. You know, this is Hagen's dream tree, and this thing with dream trees are that if the tree is destroyed, the elf dies along with it.
Yeah. So we have to protect that tree.
We have to go get that tree.
So you could like fly your hawk over the enemy to get us some more information because it has a higher perception than people.
And you guys have kind of a bond where you don't really, you can't see through its eyes, you can't mentally connect, but you have, it'll make a series of cries that you can kind of understand.
How big are those tents? Like, are we talking like 20 people or 5 people?
Most of them look like they're about big enough for 4 people, and one is clearly an officer's tent, which may have a table inside it, who knows, but is larger than the others.
Can I do a little perception check for just like a vantage point? That would be good. A nice sniper's roost.
Absolutely. Roll me a perception.
16.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a nice big tree that'll have complete vantage over the entire area.
I put my hood on. I look at everyone else.
If we kill them all, are we not just like them?
Everyone stands in silence for a second. I've always wanted to fly one of those airships.
That's your response to the question?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that answers it. I don't have to kill them. I can steal their airship, or we can burn their airship down.
Maybe all they want to do is kill Haggett.
And we can't allow that.
That's a
They
possibility.
won't just stop at her birth tree. I don't see why you guys want to not kill these people. They obviously don't want us around.
This is our land, and we have to protect it and protect our people that are in it. I'm okay with it.
The way I see it, we put them in a position that they have to leave the tree, so we take their ship.
Does it look like they're really preparing anything, or are they pretty much done and waiting?
As you guys are looking, you notice that they have now stepped back and are kind of examining it. And if you follow your eye a little bit to the left, you see two large burned out husks that contain stumps in the middle of them that are kind of much smaller than this one. Clearly they maybe did a little testing and are now going after a much larger tree.
Well, Valatha, I told you at the beginning of this, you are my guide. My head is all sorts of confused at the moment, so whatever you decide, I will follow.
You stepped into this mission with honor. You will leave with honor. We're taking them out.
I draw my bow.
What is the first action each of you want to take? Now, what you're looking at is there are dwarves and a couple of humans gathered around the tree to the far side. There are a couple of soldiers milling about on watch, I suppose. There is an older man in the center of the campsite talking to what appears to be two more monks, and that's all you can see right now.
So where we are, it's snowy. So
Yes.
technically, if we get the snow on top of the fire, it could put it out.
Oh, absolutely, it could.
Right.
In fact, the tree itself is laden with snow. Enough of a shock to it could probably dump that snow directly onto the fires below.
Perfect.
I say we take the ship and hit the tree with it. It should knock down all the snow and extinguish the fire.
Does anyone know how to fly that thing?
We can certainly try.
Reuven winks.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah, Reuven.
Valathia and I will take the front lines as you take the ship.
Yeah, I board the ship with Reuven.
Okay.
Well, I think
I can run around
the
on the sides
sneakiest people should.
and cut off the ropes.
Should get on the ship.
Yeah.
There are 6 ropes holding the ship to the ground.
I don't have anything to cut it with. Can I use my magic weapon that technically my claws are?
Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You just hack right through it.
I think someone should take off the ropes.
That's me.
Someone fast should take out the ropes, slide around. Maybe even 2 of you should do it. While that's happening, someone just makes a straight line to that last rope, climb up to the top, and try to get on there.
Valathia, I think you and I should hang out on the edge of the trees and start sending out a flurry of arrows
I was going
to
to
draw as much attention to the tree line as we can.
Saria should help Thalia cut the ropes and jump on the ship, and then Thalia can come join us while we're shooting the arrows.
That's what I'm thinking.
Let me cause the first distraction. Then we all go. Okay?
Should I kick over any of those barrels while we're at it?
Yeah, I wanted to do a perception on the barrels, see if
sure.
I know what the
Sure.
or the liquid or something, like see if I can identify what's going on there.
You're pretty far away.
It's possible you have heard of this because
Right.
it was told of entail. So I would like you to roll a history.
Can I roll too?
Yeah, absolutely.
18.
Yes, you have.
Okay.
You have heard tale because this has happened a couple times now. There is a dwarven acid, a highly combustible dwarven acid that is also used as an explosive at times. It only comes from Haldir, so this would line up well. And you're assuming that's what this is. If they're heating it to explosion.
Okay. As far as I know, with where the barrels are, if I were to hit a barrel, would it affect the other barrels?
I mean, just hitting it wouldn't do anything. But
I wouldn't be able to.
Maybe with a flare.
I was going to say with a flare.
Yeah, it's possible.
But the problem is, obviously, I don't want to set off the other stuff because that's clearly to blow up the tree.
Those barrels look far enough from that tree.
Yeah.
Where if you set them off.
Great.
it.
Is there like a certain flare color I should use that, like, do you know that would like be a kind of a interesting like message or something?
Red.
Should I just use red? I mean, how about green?
It does seem
Green means go.
Green means go.
Green means go. Yes.
Perfect.
All right, so I go. Yeah, that's all I do. I just turn to them. I haven't explained anything else. I put my hood up and I'm just like, green means go.
While I see him kind of getting ready, can I like make a move getting closer while still hidden in the trees?
Roll stealth.
Okay.
Yep. In fact, everyone as they're in positioning.
moving into position.
Yeah, roll stealth.
Oh, fuck.
Don't fuck this up, Pat.
25.
20.
Nice.
10.
I'm good.
That's good enough.
10.
God.
Nice. Good enough.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing
I'm
below 10, right?
I'm at 10.
Yeah.
I'm exactly
All right.
I get up in my tree. I get comfy. I take out an arrow and I draw it. Whatever the elven word for green is. I'm not going to make it up because it's Verde. Okay.
But Carlos and I look at each other like, oh.
Mexican elves.
Mexican elves.
And I shoot it right at one of the barrels.
Roll to hit.
17.
Yeah. So you line it up. You whisper green and elven. Verdia. And you fire your arrows. There's a tiny little green glow, and then all the barrels go up. A couple soldiers get thrown backwards. One goes right off the cliff. 3 other soldiers are killed straight out by the shockwave. Blood explodes from their noses and eyes and ears, and they simply collapse to the ground in heaps. Older guy in the center sees it happen, turns to the 2 monks around him, barks an order, and starts marching towards the airship.
Zarya is running towards the ropes of the airship, and with her shield, she uses her shield to cut the rope.
Yeah, totally. When these shields get turned into tower shields, they stop becoming round, and a sharp point is formed on the bottom, so you guys can slam them into the ground and use them as cover. So you just slam right through that first rope and cut it clean.
Yeah. I get 2 actions, right? So I'm going to do that to the second rope. 14, 15, 16.
Nice. So you slam into the first one, pick it up, and wham, and slam it back down, and you've cut 2 ropes.
Yes.
Okay, well, I draw my longbow and just shoot at the first person.
2 monks, clearly another priest, a couple soldiers, and a couple dwarves. Pick your target.
Monk.
Roll to hit.
20.
20?
Right.
Natural 20?
Yeah.
Wow, that's definitely going to hit. Okay.
You threw it overhand. I love
that. So it was 14.
And then times by 2, or is that in total?
7 times 2.
Gotcha. So 14. So he doesn't even see
14
it coming. Just buries deep into his shoulder. His hand goes over it, and his eyes go towards the tree line, and he starts shouting for, get on the ship. And they're running towards the ship now.
And do I get another pull?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to go for him again. 29.
Roll damage.
9.
Okay, that one he reaches back and catches. And with his unwounded arm, he reaches back, catches that one, drops it, and keeps is now escorting the older priest towards the ramp.
Damn it.
All right, so I'm going for the ropes.
Yep.
I'm actually going to use my flurry of blows. Can I do this?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
My attack action, which is going to be to the first rope.
Wait, does he get multiple ropes?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's only 2 within range. So
there's only 2 in my...
Well, there's 2 on the other side, because these 2 are gone, so there's 2 more on this side of the ship, and then 2 others on the opposite side of the ship. So there's 2 you can take out on this round.
I probably don't need these.
Probably not. Yep.
Actually, can Thalia take an action to run to the 2 ropes on the far side and then do the flurry of blows to get the 2 on the opposite side?
Yeah, because you can move that fast because you're a monk, so sure, why not?
Sure.
Absolutely.
So then I'll get the 2 on the opposite side, and you can take care of the next 2 on your next room. What do I roll for that?
Just don't roll a 1.
Okay. 17.
Excellent.
1.
You managed to cut a rope. Yes, well done. Yes. And the other one as
2
well.
ropes.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
So
But you really were punching them.
You hack through one, you turn, you hack through the other one, done.
All right.
And the ship now, entire thing is kind of shifting a bit, and the ramp is just dragging in the snow.
There's an old priest who's being escorted.
Older, I should say. He's not like decrepit or anything, but
he's older.
60s.
Yeah. He's the guy who barked the orders, right?
Correct. Yes.
I target him with all 3 of my arrows.
That seems sensible.
Yes. Okay. So first arrow. Oh yeah, 30.
That's gonna hit.
Dang.
Yes.
11 damage.
The other monk reaches across his body and grabs it right before it strikes him in the neck and drops it.
That monk. Okay, I'm still shooting at him, though.
Yep.
16.
That is not going to hit. That strikes him in his armored shoulder and falls to the ground. And the armor gets revealed as it cuts through his robe.
One more time. 26.
That's
25.
Hit. That's still going to hit.
10 damage.
That one, however, hits him in the back of the shoulder.
Great.
And he is bleeding.
Great.
And annoyed.
Good. Excellent. That's what I wanted him to feel.
All this goes off at the same time. The arrow goes in the air. As soon as he sees the arrow, the green arrow flying in the air, Reuven takes off, and he actually gets to the first rope before it's cut, and he starts climbing it to make it onto the ship.
Acrobatics?
Come on.
Come on.
There we go.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah. Okay, so you get to that rope, and just as it's cut, your hand grabs the side of the ship. There is a large porthole, basically, that you could just squeeze yourself through and be right in.
Okay, so I go in, and can I use my other action?
It's going to take all of your action to get through.
Okay,
and
both of them?
to climb and squeeze through and go up the rope and everything, and then boom, you're inside. But this is what you see. So roll me a perception.
22.
Okay, so you kind of drop down on the inside skin of this thing, and it's all this giant wooden and steam pipe thing. So there's a bunch of pipes on the inside. You kind of squeeze around. One of them's hot, so you're a little careful, and you drop down, and now you're in like an open bay. Ton more barrels, and there's some stripped off branches that have been piled up, and there's a large 14-foot tall statue, it seems like, and then you hear like a and the head turns around to face you, and the eyes glow as it begins moving.
Uh-oh, you're in a trap.
I take, bonus action, right?
Well,
an action surge?
Yes, you can. Yes, you absolutely can do that. Yep.
Okay, so did I see any stairs or any...
There's like a wall and like a barn door set in that wall, and clearly a section of the ship beyond it.
I want to head that way.
You'd have to go through his threatened area to do that.
Oh, really?
You have to go literally, past him.
Yeah, then I want to use my javelin on him then.
All right. Roll to hit.
You fucking guys are playing with ropes outside?
You went into the unseen area.
So 8 plus 7. Yeah, so 15.
That is going to hit him.
8.
Okay, so it just slams right into a wooden panel on the front of his chest, and steam bursts out from where you struck, and it just kind of looks down and looks up and marches straight towards you.
He's a steampunk robot, motherfucker.
Roll for initiative?
Roll for initiative. All my forces in at 14.
Are you kidding me?
It was Carlos, Justine, me, Serena, Alex, the soldiers, then Mark.
All right.
Oh, Mark.
Always going last. Always a bridesmaid.
He's assessing the situation, making sure nothing else gets past. He's being careful.
He's educated.
I'm meditating.
That's right.
Okay, Carlos, you're up.
I get a bonus action to pull my spear out,
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
Okay, so I pull my spear out.
Roll me a strength.
Natural 20.
Oh, yeah. It's boom, right back in your hand.
Yeah, and...
Wasted that natural 20, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, I needed to get the spear out, right?
Would have taken it too.
though. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Roll 1.
I got a lot of them, guys. Don't even worry about it. But I want to make my way to the door. If I run in the door, does
It's
he get...
directly behind you.
Okay.
Wait, no, but the door to get past him?
Yeah, to get past
if
him.
If you run past him, he'll have an attack of opportunity. You have to just
Okay.
kind of but you could.
I want to do that.
Okay. All right,
Okay,
then
cool.
you run past. He takes the attack of opportunity. Oh, and he rolls a 1. He goes to grab you, and you just kind of duck under him, and you clip his foot with your spear as you run past, and the whole guy just kind of collapses into the wall. So you have knocked, you didn't really knock him down, but you helped him fall over, and now you can make a straight run to the door.
Yeah, so I make a straight run to that door. Mm-hmm. Do I need to...
You grab the door handles, you hurl them open, and there are 2 very surprised soldiers in what looks like it's kind of set up like a ship would be. There's one big, huge wheel in the center, and then there's 2 other places people would sit where there's a whole bunch of levers and shit you don't understand, but you do understand the wheel.
Okay, so there's 2 guys, though.
Yes, there are.
Are they unarmed?
They have, swords at their belts, but they're not currently carrying them.
And I get my second action, though,
Yes, you
right?
do.
I'm going to go after the first guy on the left. 6 + 5, 11?
That's going to hit. He's not wearing armor. So
Okay, cool.
go ahead and roll damage.
6?
Yeah, these are just guys. So yeah, that drops him. You just put it right into his chest and he collapses.
And I'm going to do the action surge to take out the other guy.
Nice. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Use all the moves on that piece of paper right now.
Yeah, there's no reason not to. You can take your long rest later.
18 + 5.
Oh, yeah. So you throw open these doors. Before these guys even react, one of them has a spear in his chest. You pull it back, kind of spin around. I'm pretty sure this is
3.
Oh, okay, so you cut his throat and he's bleeding and he's got his hands grasping at it and he's obviously very stunned and looks terribly afraid.
Cool.
Justine.
So you can see a trio of dwarves that are now making their way away from the trees. They seem to be bickering at each other as they're heading towards the ship. One of them's shouting, "Once it's started, it can't be stopped." And the other one's just saying, "Just get to the ship. It doesn't matter anymore." Then there's the older guy walking up the ramp, and there's the 2 monks with him.
I'll take out the old guy.
Nice. Take a shot.
21.
21's going to hit. Roll damage.
9.
9. Again, reaches out across him,
Those
grabs the
fucking
arrow, and
monks!
drops it. Yep. That's what they're there for. Arrow catchers.
I swear to God, if I get close enough, I'm going to snap their neck between my legs.
Wow.
Is that flirting?
No, it's not.
So
Oh yeah, I get
flirting.
another roll. I'm gonna do that one. The next one comes really fast. As that
Oh, yeah.
monk's catching that one, I shoot the other one off at that fucking monk.
At the one who just caught the arrow.
Yes.
Nice.
29.
That's going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage. I'm going to say this is the one that already took an arrow earlier.
7.
Yeah, that's going to do it. So he takes a second arrow in the chest and goes down. Now the older guy is on the ramp with 1 monk.
So let me ask you a logistics question.
Go right ahead.
I know that a monk only has 2 arms. I also get 3 shots.
Yes.
Can I shoot all 3 arrows at once?
You can shoot all 3 arrows in such rapid succession that he would not be able to stop all of them.
So that's what I'm going to do. I mean, I'm still going for the old guy.
Nice.
Who, in my mind, is super old. I know you said he isn't, but in my mind, he's so old. I'm killing him.
Right, it's just that guy from it's the
old guy from
the
Emperor's New
Watch.
Groove.
Oh,
no.
that works too. That's
Emperor's New
perfect.
Groove.
So first arrow. 19.
19 will hit. Roll damage.
9.
And he catches that one and drops it.
That's another botch.
I would
think
like you to make a
fifth for the
dexterity
day.
save, please.
At this point, I whisper, "You're the worst partner.
Oh, no.
You make me want to worship the devil."
11.
Okay, so you are just moving quickly, and you pull that second arrow back. You pull it so hard, it snaps in your hand, and you take 3 points of damage as it cuts into your palm and negates your third attack.
Oh, no!
Yep.
You guys.
Sorry.
I saw my move.
Yes.
Do you have a second move?
He's a
Well,
move.
I haven't moved at all.
He hasn't moved. He just,
Oh,
yeah, he
okay.
just started firing.
Gotcha.
I just started shooting from the wood line. What I'm wondering is, they said once it starts, it can't stop.
Right.
So I want to position myself by the dream tree, where next turn I can start dumping snow on top of the reaction that's going on.
So
there.
you're basically fired twice, and then you've moved 30 feet towards the dream. Well, 50 feet towards the dream tree. Yeah, so you'll be there the next round.
I'm more disappointed in myself than you guys are. Me.
So there's 2 more rope on the Zeppelin.
Correct.
I'm going to use my shield and hit one of the rope.
Did you not roll a 1?
I did not roll a 1.
Hey, Pat, that's how it's done.
I did not roll a 1.
So you cut through the first
Great.
rope.
I cut through the first rope, and then with my second action, can I don't know if this is possible, but I want to climb up one of the ropes and then cut it behind me.
Sure. Roll me a acrobatics.
All right. 17.
Yeah. There's a couple platforms on the outside of it.
Yeah.
And so you kind of hop up on one of those platforms and just slice the rope behind
Perfect.
you. And now the craft is completely free. The ramp is heading towards the edge of the cliff. And no one's in control of it.
Someone is.
About to be.
Assessing the scene.
Yep.
The airship is free.
Yep.
I can see
Reuven?
Reuven.
Well, he's in the ship, so he's gone.
Oh, that's. I thought you were up on the top.
No, I guess there was there was like a porthole, and he went through the porthole, so he's in the middle of the ship, inside the ship.
Right, but you escaped the golem. So where were you after that?
It's just another room. It's like it's like the pilot's room. Like
he hasn't really escaped that golem yet. Yeah,
but you avoided it. For
I'm like he's in the living room, and I'm hanging out here in the kitchen.
Regardless, regardless, I have no idea any of that's going on.
Correct.
Okay, so Reuven's disappeared into a porthole. I see Saria on the top of the ship?
Yeah, kind of like on the edge of it.
What do I see as far as like the dwarves? Like, what is everyone doing otherwise? Besides the priest who is...
Right. They're basically inside the ship at this point. The dwarves are running as fast as they can because they're going to try and catch the ramp before it goes over the edge. But they're just going to make it, if they do make it.
The dwarves?
Mm-hmm.
As far as the fires under the troughs...
Yes.
Big?
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't shoot an arrow like a hockey skate and scoot just skirt snow into it, or if I don't know, I couldn't do anything like that.
Here's what you think from your vantage point.
Yes.
There's 3 separate bonfires. This is a very large tree, and on 3 corners of it is what is the equivalent of a bonfire. If you were to fire into the branches above it with a flare arrow that has a little pop at the end of it, you should be able to shake enough snow to drop and knock out 1 bonfire with each arrow.
Without any direction further, I'm going to shoot at a should I go for? Do I have a shot at the priest?
But he's got half cover at this point, so but not as clear as those dwarves.
And not the monk that's guarding him?
No, not the monk. Same exact thing, because they're basically in the ship.
So I'm shooting from my vantage point at one of the dwarves going for the ramp.
Yep.
A 22.
That's going to hit.
And I hit with my sneak attack, which yields a 17.
Yes, she goes down. The other dwarves see her fall. One of them goes to get her. The other one grabs her and drags her up and, is like, leave her. And then they keep running.
The soldiers are up.
Okay. The dwarves are going to make a run for it. And they are at the ramp now, and they are going to try and get onto the ramp.
Isn't the ramp... Where
dragging? So it's actually almost at the cliff. So they.
But aren't we up in? Isn't it floating up in the air after it got released?
Sliding sideways right now. It hasn't gone up yet. There are 4 propellers, 2 on either side of the craft that are kind of out and above, that are lazily turning but not really spinning. And those give the ship lift. That allows it to go up and down on a plane. Right now, all it has is neutral buoyancy. And it's not a perfectly balanced ship, so it is tilting a little bit to the right and sliding right towards that cliff.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So they were able to get to the ramp and just get onto it as it slides out over the edge. And now there's basically 2 dwarves kind of half on a ramp that's now over the edge of this cliff.
Gotcha.
You hear a sound behind you that is clearly the sound of a clockwork golem righting itself. And you hear like clomp, clomp coming towards the cockpit. Also, at the same time, the anti-theot and the monk come on board. The monk dashes towards the cockpit and is there. So you are going to be engaged with him on the next round. And coming behind you is this old man with a staff that is now glowing bright purple.
No one killed an old man with a staff? No one did that?
No one.
No one killed him?
Not even got.
We tried to shoot. We shot a lot of arrows at him.
Yeah, he did. Damn it. He did take a hit, but he's still going.
Okay.
Those monks grabbed all the arrows.
Mm-hmm.
Can I jump in to get closer into wherever Carlos is?
You could make a running leap. It just went out over the cliff, but you could make a running leap onto it. All right. I would like you to roll me an athletics.
17.
Yeah. You take a running leap and boom, you are on the platform. Your feet are steady. There are 2 dwarves directly in front of you, and that's where you are.
I'm going to Fury of Blows.
Nice.
So 19, and then
hit the first one.
16.
Hit the second one. Roll me some damage.
5 plus 5.
Yep. Okay. And the second one?
7.
You crack the first one. Yeah. Spins her completely around, and she goes right over the edge and is now falling a good 300 or 400 feet towards the water below. So she's going to die. The second one, you crack, and she kind of stumbles and is like a little dazed and grabs a rope just before she falls over the edge. So she's still up, but you took a pretty good shot at her.
Oh, it's back up to me?
Yep.
A monk just charged in. Yep. I am going to hit him with my spear.
Excellent. Roll to hit.
16 plus 5.
Yeah, that's going to hit.
2 plus 2 is 4.
Okay, so you go to stab him straight into the chest. He turns a little bit, and you kind of tear right along his front.
I want to do this disarming attack, though, on that hit.
Well, he's not carrying a weapon.
Oh, I thought he had a sword.
No, he's a monk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you could trip him.
Yeah, so I'll do the trip attack.
Okay.
It says when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die to attempt to knock the target down. Add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll. And if the target is large or small, it must make a strength saving throw.
Okay, so roll your damage, roll the die, and then I'll make a saving throw.
6.
Nice. And that is a 9. He comes charging in. You stab him, he rolls around it, you catch him in the shoulder, then you swing kind of back around, catch his legs, and sweep them right out from underneath him, and crack, he falls to the ground.
That's my action. I want to make a move.
You spent the second action. You can move now, sure.
Okay, to the controls. So superiority dice, that counts as a move? That counts as an action?
Well, you went to... Oh, wait a minute, no.
Because I get 2 actions.
You do get 2 actions, so that superiority does not count as an action. That was an action on top of an action, so yeah, you can hit a button.
Okay, cool.
So you got 2 levers, one to the left, one to the right, and a wheel. What do you want to do?
So wait, this one, there's one to the left, one to the right.
Yep.
One
Move
they both forward
and
and backwards.
Both are in what seems to be neutral positions on either side of the wheel right now.
I want to take the one on the right and push it forward.
Okay.
Yeah, baby.
All right, so
Yeah.
slam that one forward.
Yeah.
And there's a shudder as the whole ship begins to rise.
Fuck.
So the ship is now 30 feet in the air and has cleared the cliff face completely.
Okay. I was
Charles
hoping
is gone.
So is this level with me then?
I was hoping
Where I
that
am
was
in my
forward.
Yeah, about level with you, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. It swung around completely, so you can see down through the ship now, and you can see a giant Clockworks golem that's kind of like getting onto its feet as a man with a staff barks orders at it.
Sure.
That's what you seem to be seeing right now.
Are we headed towards the tree, though?
No, you are not.
Oh.
So what you have done, the tail end has now facing back towards this way, and the entire ship is now
I want
out
it to go
over
that
the
way,
edge
though,
here.
right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. But I can't move the steering wheel or anything?
Not
I can't
until
do
next
anything?
round.
Gotcha.
Yep.
What do I see?
You see the whole ship has now gone out over the edge.
Right.
You see him making his way towards the dream tree. You see the water or the liquid in the troughs around the dream tree bubbling up, spattering, and as little teeny flecks of it hit the fires below.
How is that
burst
liquid around
into-
the dream tree?
It's in these semicircle troughs that have been attached to the tree.
Okay.
And the fire is underneath it, and they're boiling against the tree. The dwarves had gotten to the platform. All the soldiers, everything dealt with in the campsite is dealt with. Automil's the only one left, really. You could fire at the tree and try and knock snow down into those.
I'll do that.
All right, roll to hit.
Funny.
All right, so an arrow flies past you, hits the tree about maybe 20 feet up. It's a pop and a big clump of snow that falls down and boom, knocks out one of the fires. 2 left.
And I'll go for the other one. Try to keep up, Automil.
As she misses her box.
Yeah. Try to keep up.
Yeah. She
it's kind
hits
of-
me with her dice. 21.
Yeah, pump, and then another batch of snow hits. There's like 1 fire left. Bubbling and little drops of the liquid are now
So I'm
pouring
going to
over
totally
and
put that
catching
thing
fire.
out.
All right.
Because I'm super close to it,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, so I just pick up as big handfuls of snow.
You can also fire an arrow directly above it, just like she did.
Yeah, I'll do that too. Whatever
Yeah, that would
appears
be
to
the
be the
easiest.
easiest way to do it.
Don't roll a 1.
Don't tell me that. There we go.
Oh.
Yeah.
30.
You walk up, a little closer than you normally would, just to make sure. And you launch, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you launch
Stand on your tippy toes.
You launch it right in there. There's a pop, a big clump full of snow, and a sizzle, and all the fires are out.
So I turn and I look at the blimp that's floating around. What can I see in through like any of the windows or anything?
You roll a perception.
23.
So as the entire ship kind of rotates and the side of it comes available, there's one porthole that you see, and just a big glowing head, some sort of weird mechanical thing with glowing eyes is right there through that porthole.
Can I try to shoot
Yes,
through
you
the porthole?
can. Yes,
Fuck
you can,
yeah,
with
I do.
disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the one I'm going to
There's
take.
the 4, and
Yep, damn.
4
But
plus.
4 plus 11, 15.
Oh my God, is that actually going to hit? Hang on. Yeah, that hit. So you
Yeah.
strike it right
So
in
I
the head.
aim through the porthole.
Yep.
Autumn is back.
11 damage.
You got one more shot at him.
Yep, I got him. For 9 more damage.
Nice. Yeah, those went deep into his neck, and one kind of like wedged into the gear of his neck, and you see the head kind of click, 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 trying to turn left, and it can't anymore.
Nice. Serena.
So what's the situation on the Zeppelin? Is the priest...
It's now a good 30 feet out over the cliffside. The priest is in the Zeppelin. One dwarf is wounded, hanging onto the edge of the Zeppelin. Thalia is on the plank going into it with that other wounded dwarf, and Reuven is inside somewhere.
I want to get inside of it more and target the priest.
Or you can just drop down inside. So you're at opening that you could crawl into, drop a couple feet down, but you'll be in the room with the golem and the priest.
Great. So I'm going to get into that room.
Done.
And I want to use my lance and my like shield, and I just like want to like run full force at probably the golem. The golem's bigger than the priest, right?
You're going to try and push the golem out of the ship is what you're trying to do.
I'm just trying to like...
It's 14 feet tall, just so you know.
14 feet tall?
It's big. It's very big. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Don't tell me the odds.
All right. Instead of doing that, because it's really tall, I'm gonna do that with the priest. I'm gonna shove the priest out.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Roll to
Here
hit.
we go. So then I'm at 12.
Okay, 12. No. You go to hit him, and he's a little more wily than he looks, and he just steps out of the way, and you whiff completely.
Cool. I'm gonna try it again.
Nice.
14 plus 7 is a high number.
That catches him.
Thanks.
So he steps out of the way. You spin as he steps out of the way and just come completely around with your shield and clock him with it. I would like a strength roll.
20.
Okay. So you clock him. He stumbles back and falls out the back. He like goes to grab onto the edge at the last second. He lets go of his spear and it clamps to the ground as he desperately claws and just slides right out and into oblivion, basically, as he's plummeting 300 feet down to the water.
We're going to have to confirm the kill and find that body.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, Alex.
You just saw the older man fall and plummet. You see a dwarf righting herself near Thalia. You can kind of see down that plank, and you can see... roll me a perception to see what you can see, actually.
That's a 20.
Perfect. You can see the golem clear as day, and he went to go grab after the old man. The old man fell, and he stopped, and he's now stood back up. His arms are now at his side, and his chest is glowing red hot.
And I can't perceive anything further from that as far as like my knowledge of what is actually happening with him.
Roll me
another, maybe like a
investigation.
Yeah, investigation.
Just
sure.
in case.
4. Nope.
You just don't know what's going on.
Can't solve every problem with an arrow, right?
You can try. You
Okay.
haven't found one yet.
So what is glowing?
There's been steam pouring off this thing the entire time. There's not anymore. And its chest has begun to glow red.
This is the golem?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh man, I want to do something, but I don't
What
I'm
can you
worried
do?
about exploding the thing and then killing everyone. And you're right over a cliff.
About good 60 feet over that cliff right now.
I can't see anything else on the golem that would like lead to like some kind of weak spot or some kind of like.
You rolled a 20.
Yeah.
On the back of the golem are these two huge barrels, and even though there's no more steam coming off them, there seems to be a lot of steam leaking through the cracks on those barrels on his back.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for one of those barrels then.
That seems sensible.
Fantastic. Perfect.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Is it
Okay.
20?
That is a
Yeah.
natural 20. So I would like you to roll all of your normal damage and then double it.
Kill that guy.
12 plus 7, which is 19, plus 5, which is 24,
48.
which is 48. It's this weird calm that I've never experienced before because there's the chaos. Like, I've never fought with a crew, so I'm usually just by myself killing people that have no idea where it's coming from. But now there's an actual danger that I have to save people. There's like an extra stress level, and this just makes me focus up even more than I've ever focused before. And I take it back and I take a deep breath to steady myself. I let it fly.
The clockwork's giant shudders as your arrow sinks deep into its back, and an explosion of steam rockets through and out the back of the ship. The dwarf that was just hanging on is blown away and falls helplessly into the void. The red glow of the construct's eyes fade away, and it just falls into an inanimate heap of brass and wood.
Woo!
There are no more enemies. So you're out of initiative, but you are in a ship that is now 60 feet out over this ledge. What do you want to do?
We're not in initiative. We're not.
Not in
anything.
initiative. You do whatever you
I
want.
just got dead guys around.
Yep.
And
a monk hanging off the back, who I assume is making your way to the cockpit at this point, right? Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to do anything, but I'm going to grab the ropes.
Oh, you can.
They're on the ground still?
It is. I would say.
Oh no, they're not on the ground because they were attacked at the edge, so they're hanging from the ship.
Two long ropes.
Yeah.
I would say one of them is dragging. You'd be closest. You could shout at him to grab that rope if you want to.
I grab it.
All right, I want you to roll strength.
That hit too many things.
What the hell does that mean?
I think I rolled a 5.
Okay.
Oh,
5 plus.
Oh, you're sleepy.
5 plus what?
1. So
Okay.
6.
You are drugged clear out over the edge. I want you to roll a dexterity save.
Oh my god.
Oh God, no.
There we go.
Okay.
Thank
You
God.
are hanging off a rope over the edge, just dangling. But you got it.
Hey guys, I got the rope.
I mean, I wasn't going to grab it.
No, that would have been a much smarter move not to.
So Reuven takes the other lever.
Yes.
And he pulls it back, hoping that it'll go in reverse, and he's kind of just like parallel parking it.
So you grab the other lever and slam it backwards. The nose of the ship dips a little and starts to swing back to the left. So the ship is now both sinking and turning back towards the land. By the time you get to it, the nose should just make it over the cliff. That's great for you. Not so good for Automil, who's dangling about 20 feet below the ship and is looking at the side of a sheer cliff.
But I'm over land, right?
No.
No. Oh, so I climb up as quickly as I can.
I need you to roll strength.
There we go. Nat 20.
Okay.
Hey, I saved my mistakes, huh?
All about saving himself, but not the squad.
Not the squad. Fortunately, you can climb fast as well, and you just get over the edge as it slams. Well, no, actually,
Well, we're 30 feet
because you're 30 feet up.
Yeah,
so
we're 30 feet up. Yeah.
He just gets up over the edge.
He almost hits it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That
And
makes
you're
sense.
basically like, your feet are running on the ground as you're.
Let go of the rope. Now that
pulling
your
it
feet are
down.
on the
I'm
ground.
pulling it down. I'm a god.
So I go into the cockpit where Reuven is.
Totally.
I don't know how close the levers are, but
Right.
I figured between the both of us, we can figure out how to steer the ship into the tree.
Sure,
Because that's what
totally.
we want to do. We want to
Wait,
stop
do
the
we?
fire.
We already put out the fire.
The fire's out.
Yeah.
Fire's out?
We don't need to do it anymore.
Yeah. Now you're just
Oh.
you're just trying for him not to. He would. You're very lucky you got that shot. That thing was going to blow up and kill him. So I was going to take out one of you, but now you're just going to land this thing without
Yeah.
killing yourselves.
Great. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to help you with.
Okay.
Just landing.
Yeah. I just at this point, roll me an intelligence.
12.
Yeah, so you run up in there. You're between the three of you, manage to like half crash it. Into the ground, but it's down.
Fair.
Yeah, it's down.
And I act like I had something to do.
Yeah. He's pulling it. Yeah, hand over hand, pulling it down.
It's totally crashed and burned, and you're still like,
I am a
Drag
god.
yourself towards it.
God.
So it is crashed and down. The fires are out. The people are dealt with who aren't all dead. And if you look over the edge, you can see that these ships have pulled the trees up that have been already. So there were 2 trees that were knocked down. They've pulled them up onto their decks and are beginning to raise sails.
Is that end of episode?
Unless you want to do something. I mean, they're 300 feet down. What do you want to do?
I want to
down there.
I want to crash that airship right
I
now.
want to crash
just
that
push
airship
it over
right
the
now.
edge?
Yeah.
Hey, I pulled it all the way down.
What?
Let's do
Did
this.
you?
You did what?
The tanks are still going. If you hit
Let's
that
push it
lever,
over.
it'll raise up.
Are there any
Push
more?
it over.
Are there any more barrels?
Oh yeah.
There
Let's
are.
start
There's a ton of
throwing 'em.
barrels. Yeah.
Can we throw some barrels down
you
there?
can absolutely. There are 4 barrels.
Oh,
I
hell
say we
yeah.
throw some barrels.
Wait,
at the
what
ships.
bear? Oh, on the ship.
Yeah, you could do that. You would have. You would be able to get those 4 barrels over the edge and towards them before. All right, so you're gonna have to.
I pick up a barrel and I chuck it.
It's too heavy to pick up. You have to roll them to the edge.
Okay,
and
so I
push
roll it
them
to the
over.
edge and I kick it over.
But wait, we have to have someone like.
Well, he just
shoot
shoved the first one.
it. Okay,
so-
someone has to shoot it now with an arrow
It's
before it hits
falling,
the
it's
ground.
falling,
I'll
it's falling.
shoot it.
All right,
Oh,
roll to
yeah.
hit it. At disadvantage.
But it has to be like one of those green arrows,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
13.
13. Okay, so
No, wait. 19.
nice. So
Sorry.
you push one over the edge, and she just lines it up and fires. It explodes, maybe about halfway down into just this rain of liquid fire. And the first boat gets struck by enough of it that its sails are now burning.
Let's do it to the second boat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I grab the second barrel and I kick it off the edge.
Who's firing at this one?
I'll do it.
All right, fire to hit.
Jesus.
22.
You hit, it explodes again. A rain of fire goes down. Both ships are now, their sails are fully engulfed. So they are on fire. You want to keep going?
Yeah, let's do more.
Yeah,
Let's
I
use all
take
those
the.
barrels.
Yeah, well, what about the airship? Can I? What way is it facing? Can I just go in, pull a lever, run out real quick while it like careens
Yes,
down
it
there?
would just go forward. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do.
All right, good enough.
I'm gonna crash
Wait,
it.
but
in
it
there.
won't. It won't fall down. We have to pull the other level to make it fall down.
Correct.
Oh.
Yeah, you won't be able to do that.
Can I hit 2 levers? Oh, because
One goes forward, and then you'd have to pull the other one down to make it go down.
If you tie a rope to one of the levers
Yeah.
and attach the other end of the rope to one of my arrows, I can shoot it the other way out of the ship, right? Are they long enough to do that?
Yeah, sure.
To where
Yeah.
the lever will be pulled
Yes.
Hell yeah, let's
while
do that.
no one's on the ship?
Roll to hit.
Let's do that.
We can.
That's
we can go
amazing.
down there though in the airship.
Yeah, but
Go
then
down
you're
there
gonna
onto
crash it
the
with
boats that we just started on
airship.
fire?
Yeah, why not?
Why would we do that?
I don't
Sounds
know.
like a
No,
really
let's-
bad idea.
We have an
Let's do
airship
this.
though. We have
Yeah.
an airship. Why would we destroy it?
Oh, do we know how to operate
Because
this
we
thing?
don't give a fuck
Kind
about the
of.
ship.
Do we though?
Because this is our home. We're not
crashed
gonna.
it twice now.
we
I
haven't
feel.
crashed it.
I feel like it's broken.
It is a little
Yeah.
damaged.
Let's
I mean,
just send it
yeah.
down there and
It's a good
let the
message.
ship go on its way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Use their own shit to destroy them.
All right, so I would like Dex. I would like a hit roll from you for the arrow. I would like a general strength roll from you.
Great.
A hit roll.
Yeah, just roll to hit.
Oh boy. Hit roll with dexterity. 11.
Yeah, that'll hit it. I mean,
Fine.
it's a non-moving thing, so you strike it. You set it. You like kind of anchor the rope as it's moving forward, and the weight of it kind of pulls it forward as it
16.
clears. Yes, perfect. As it clears the front, and you just see this kind of like these propellers on the side that are just geared up as it goes over the edge to point upwards, and the whole thing just goes right over the edge and is now going straight down with considerable speed. All right, you watch it, and yeah, sure, why not? Okay, so the one ship has been able to get its sails out as this thing just descends straight into it, straight down, right through the middle of the deck, splitting the ship in half as it kind of folds up over. There's a huge splash of water as the whole thing turns. The airship falls onto its side and simply explodes. the first ship is blown to pieces. The other ship is caught on its side and just rocks over to the side. And with the extra weight of the tree on it, capsizes and is now sinking. The threat is destroyed. Everyone has lived. And you're just all now standing at a cliff face as the sun begins to set on a fully saved Ironwood forest.
I mean, my last thing is I go over to the one dwarf that I killed that survived, like didn't fall off a cliff, and I collect my arrow.
The bushiest eyebrow.
Oh, the bushiest?
Just a big,
take it.
thick, bushy eyebrow for you.
Would you say the sun's setting or the sun's rising?
Setting.
Setting, great.
Yeah.
So I walk up to Reuven and very, very subtly grab his hand and watch the sunset.
And Reuven, under his breath, says, I guess you got your wish.
I've learned something today. That being a god takes a tremendous amount of responsibility, and something that maybe those who aren't gods can also assume.
As you say that, from the vantage points you guys have way over in the void, there is an explosion of purple energy that just flies upwards and crackles along the edges of the world storm. Hundreds and hundreds of miles of just this purple violet lightning that seems to just encompass the sky and then smolders into nothing. Godsfall is written, produced, and edited by myself, Aram Vartian. If you want up-to-the-minute information about the podcast, you can follow me on Twitter at GodsfallDC. Special thanks to our good friends at BattleBards for giving us access to their incredible catalog of richly produced sounds. Be sure to check them out at battlebards.com. And a special thanks to all of our loyal Patreon supporters. Without you, this show could not continue. If you'd like to support Godsfall, get access to exclusive Patreon supporter content, and get episodes of Season 3 before they're released publicly, head over to patreon.com/Godsfall. That's all from us this week. We have original maps, art, character sheets, and more on our website at godsfall.com, as well as links to our Patreon account and official Godsfall t-shirts. So see you next time in the world of the Five Kingdoms.